This morning, President Trump facing legal hurdles in his effort to reshape the government. Plans to shrink the federal workforce, give Elon Musk's team access to Treasury systems, and scale back U.S. foreign aid, all facing challenges. But the president is still plowing ahead.
We got rid of woke over the last 2 weeks.
A federal judge paused the White House's implementation of its buyout offer to all federal workers hours before the deadline, now delayed until Monday, after employee unions filed suit arguing it violates federal law. Still, the White House is urging workers to take the buyouts. A senior administration official tells NBC News more than 65,000 workers, or nearly 3% of the federal civilian workforce, have already accepted the deal. The administration is warning workers they could lose their jobs if they don't accept. The administration is also facing a lawsuit from employee unions over USAID, but moving forward rapidly to dismantle the agency that provides billions of dollars in humanitarian aid around the world.
We're catching them left and right. We're catching them.
According to two people familiar with the plans, President Trump is expected to slash the agency's ranks from more than 5,000 to fewer than 300 workers. Democrats saying pulling back aid from struggling countries makes America less safe.
China benefits. Russia benefits. Those that don't mean as well benefits.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio is defending it.
This is the only way we've been able to get cooperation from USAID.
And the president's praising billionaire Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency's team for its efforts.
Elon Musk is helping us on it, and he's pretty good.
One other flashpoint, Doge's access to the Treasury Department's massive payment system that includes personal data. A Doge employee approved by a federal judge to access the system has resigned after the Wall Street Journal asked about his links to a deleted social media account that advocated for racism and eugenics. Other lawsuits against Doge's involvement with the system are still pending. And back to the downsizing at USAID for a moment. This new plan will shrink the number of staffers dedicated to serve the entire continent of Africa to just 12 people, 8 people for all of Asia, and the 600 employees dedicated to Europe will be slashed to just 10. The unions filing suit against President Trump say his administration is responsible for causing a global humanitarian crisis and costing thousands of jobs. They say only Congress can dissolve an agency. Savannah.
All right, Peter, thank you. I want to bring in Kristen Welker, moderator of Meet the Press. Hi, Kristen. Morning. So, the strategy seems to be flood the zone.
Oh, absolutely, Savannah and Craig. I was talking to Trump allies overnight who say that that is absolutely what they are aiming to do for a couple of reasons. One, President Trump wants to try to show that he is acting on these campaign promises on the border, cutting diversity programs, gutting those federal agencies that Peter talked about. It's also about trying to create an information overload, Savannah, so that the president's political rivals will be weakened in their attempt to combat him effectively. We are seeing this battle play out in the courts. More than 24 legal challenges to the more than 50 executive actions that he has taken. But in my conversations with Democrats, they acknowledge the courts cannot keep up with the pace and scope of what we are seeing coming from the White House, from President Trump, and from Elon Musk.
So, Kristen, to that point, though, the executive orders that are being challenged in court, a lot of them don't have the force of law. Anyway, how much of this is about governing? How much of this is just about messaging?
Well, look, I think a lot of it is about messaging. It is about trying to make the case that he campaigned on all of these various promises, and now he is following through with it. But, Craig, the biggest question and the biggest battle is going to play out on Capitol Hill. Can he, in fact, for example, get more funding for his mass deportation plan? Is he going to follow through on those tax cuts? There was a 4-hour-plus meeting at the White House yesterday. One of the participants who I spoke with described it as productive and said failure is not an option. But guys, think about the margins. Republicans can only afford to lose one vote in the House in order to enact the president's agenda. Very little room for error. One person telling me failure, though, not an option.
But what about the Democrats? It seems that they are searching for a strategy, really focusing on Elon Musk more than Donald Trump at this point. I read a tweet from a congressman in Maine, a Democratic congressman, who said, I'm getting more calls to my office about Elon Musk and what he called a weirdo billionaire having so much power, not about Donald Trump.
It's a really great point, Savannah, and we did see Democrats' messaging really coalesce around Elon Musk this week. They are still, though they say, struggling to find that coherent message. But in terms of Elon Musk, you saw the House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries introduce legislation aimed at combating what he called a power grab by Elon Musk. So they held a number of rallies this week, but going deeper inside, they say they're still struggling for that big message, particularly on voters' number one issue, the economy. And at the end of the day, that's what President Trump is going to be judged on. Can he lower prices? Can Democrats find that messaging? Savannah and Craig.
Kristen, thank you so much. We'll see you Sunday. She'll have the latest from Washington. Where else on Meet the Press?
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.